Luft-hangover week show. Cars and Comedy. Jay Ryan, you're in the late night Playset. Thanks for tuning us up. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is the opportunity to do so. We've got a great show for you tonight. We are all totally wrung out, exhausted. Can't believe we're on the air. Huge Luft-Gekühlt weekend for everybody. Then Monday was also the Magnus Urban Outlaw 10 thing. So we're going to be talking all about that stuff. As well as our good friend, comedian Guido Cocomello is here as well. He's going to be doing his 1 hour live special at the Marconi Museum in about a week and a half. So we're going to be talking about that as well. And hopefully selling some tickets for those guys as well. And I'm going to say as well about 3 more times before we get Will in here. I'm telling you, everybody, woo! Did I say wrung out? The reason you're all tuning in this evening is Nicole. There she is waiting for us to join her in the Playset. Also, in addition to you at home on the Instagram, we've got our friend Canada Mike all the way up there representing in Kelowna. Are you in Kelowna or near Kelowna?
I am in Kelowna.
But
in 45 minutes.
Representing
in
the
45 minutes.
Of Kelowna. Canada Mike Chisholm is here. And we're going to be with you guys in just a few minutes. 2 minutes exactly, so now's the time to go do your stuff. Like Chuck Woolery used to say, we'll be back in 2 and 2. Take it away, Will.
Kevin, you gonna buy a Beamer? How's it going?
Great.
You too. We're all a little giddy. It might be one of those. Oh, does my thing work? Hey, good. All right. Hi, everybody. Where are we? Welcome back. It is... I didn't say this before, did I? No, I guess I say it over here all the time. Also, here's this for you. Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. It is the post-Luftgekuhlt show, also known as the Luft-Gekühlt hangover show. Luft-Gekühlt week is over. I'm ready to stop saying Luft-Gekühlt week for another year. It's funny. We all look so forward to it, and then it is such an energetic and emotional, it's crazy. I'm sure you were all there. I ended up going. Remember on Friday we weren't sure, or Thursday we weren't sure. But it was great, so we're going to talk about all that stuff. What else is going on? Guido Cocomello is here. I told you about that. We're going to have an East Coast feed that we'll do that we are late on from, I don't know, The kid is still a kid. I don't know how old she is now, but we'll find out later this week when the new feed rolls in. And the usual business. And that's what's going on. How about you? We haven't checked in with you in a while. Wanted to do that tonight as well.
What would you like to know?
I would like to know how you are doing. I know the answers to these questions. I guess they're sort of leading, but I would like to know, I would like the folks at home, to quote our friend Norm MacDonald, I'd like the folks at home to know how you're feeling, because you look great. Here's the usual problem. You look fantastic, and I know you're not. I'm
really numb. Like, thanks to the pot and the intake I thankfully can take in. I'm so numb, because otherwise I'd be in so much pain.
Yeah.
I can't really feel from the knees down, and my feet stick to the floor. So everything takes 10 times longer than you think it will.
Yeah. We're talking about multiple sclerosis here, by the way, if anybody is curious why she's having these numbness and foot Velcro problems. Multiple sclerosis is the son of a bitch that does that to us. So that's what she struggles with. These are just some of the symptoms.
Yes, and I will say, in case I look crazy, because I feel crazy, my feet don't just not get up. They actively work against me sometimes and push the opposite way. So I have to argue with them and talk to them and be like, let's get up.
Somehow your brain can get the signal to the part that needs it, even a part that's so far away like a foot. Only problem? Sends the wrong signal. So imagine like a polarity issue. Like, oh, it needs to send a positive to this and a negative over here. And it goes, oh, got it. I know right where that is. And then it goes right to the spot. And it goes, like miswires it. It happens all the time. It happens with your thoughts, your speeches. Speeches. Happens to me. I have it.
Yes.
Yeah. Demyelination, right? All of the wires are crisscrossed.
There's
Overheated.
nothing to funnel anything. Any communication, so who knows?
Brutal. So on top of just being exhausted this week, like we are from Luft-Gekühlt, add all of that. Do you think you are worse today from doing all of the stuff that we did? Now, you didn't do Luft-Gekühlt, but you did every other thing that we did this weekend.
I was better when we did after the Magnus run, oddly enough. Like, I felt
You were better after we did it?
Yeah, I felt like I had more energy.
You're kidding.
Yeah, right
That's
now,
great.
UND, but last night it was like I was a different person.
What do you think that... While we were out there, it was very fatiguing because of all the fumes and all the different things and bumpy rides and all the different confusion and whatever. What do you think it was about that? Was it the people? Was it... Okay.
I think it's the people. Everyone had great attitudes and were really happy to be where they were. So that feeds itself. Like, it makes the environment.
Well, they were all
Blah,
handpicked.
blah, blah.
No, friends of Magnus is handpicked by Magnus, so Magnus is a good nucleus then, I guess, of energy.
Love that guy.
Geez, sorry, you're back there. Instagram, I'm sorry. But I meant to do this too. Also, well, we didn't wrap up exactly. How are you? How about this? You just explained to everyone the physical stuff that you're dealing with. How are you dealing with all of that emotionally? Because it's a lot.
Not well. It's exhausting, so I don't have a lot of time to focus on how crazy I feel, because I'd go down that rabbit hole hard.
Take all your time. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah, so
shoots and ladders.
it keeps me not thinking about how awful it is.
Boy, so much.
Pros-
Cars and comedy. I'm
Pros
sorry.
and cons, man. Like, what do you do?
I like your shirt. I
Thanks.
wore that shirt all weekend. I got a lot of compliments on it. Somehow that shirt has come into its time.
I thought that also.
Someone, I don't want to say his name just because, but someone who we know who's very prominent in design. Not a buddy who makes T-shirts. You know what I mean? Like someone who really is at a very big brand in design. Said at Luft-Gekühlt that was their favorite of the Luft-Gekühlt designs that were there, because everyone has their own little homemade little, and that was their favorite. We didn't come up with this, by the way. I would love to take credit for it. A fan, a wonderful person in Australia, did it made these shirts for us like the second or third year on the air, but based on the Life magazine thing that's behind our skyline there. it's really cool.
Thanks.
You look cute in it.
Thank you. I just saw you had I was like, it's time for me to wear it.
996 Swag is here. 996 Swag just joined.
Love him.
We gotta come see him in Palm Springs. I'm trying to put a date together when he and his wife are both, so we can do what we did last time. It was really
Awesome.
fun to hang out with them and make that
was.
trip. Whoa! And now I'm pointing at myself, which I just was there. Is that a trip? All right, burning time here. So good vibes on Friday. Holy crap! Big. It was huge. Luft-Gekühlt weekend. It was really neat because I think it was kind of a homecoming because the Luft-Gekühlt weekend was always sort of a, you know, when we talk about the days when there was like a dozen Porsches there, when everything was regular, there was a dozen Porsches. There was still 50 on a Luft-Gekühlt weekend because everybody drove to town to come do the thing. So today was no exception, except now everybody knows about it. And holy crap, it was Porsche Mountain. It was super, super cool. Everybody was great. It was just really overwhelming because I wanted to see and talk to everybody, and I know that I didn't. I'm sorry if I missed anybody or whatever, but it wasn't intentional. Man, there was a lot, and it was great to see everybody. I mean, people from very far.
It was. There was a lot of faces that were familiar that I haven't seen for so long.
But people had driven, you know, from obviously Vegas, Arizona, those things, but also New York, East Coast, Florida. Anyway, it was great to see everybody. So, and it was really cool too because, you know, at most car shows, including Good Vibes, anywhere you go in the world, you see a car that's done up real well, and you think, oh, look at that tribute car to that famous race car over there. And we all thought when we saw the 993, we go, oh man, that is one hell of a build. And somebody kind of nudged me like, hey, idiot, like that's the real one. Like, nope, that's it. I was like, oh, 993 SuperCup. That was my highlight. That was super cool to see the SuperCup. And great to see everybody else. Let's see what else. We did not make it to Gunther Works on Friday night, but it looked spectacular. What a spread. And obviously the cars, and we've been down to Gunther before, and they really know how to do it up. But love to everybody who did go, and love to all our friends at Gunther Works. That was amazing. Looked amazing even though we didn't go. You know how all our friends are like really good content creators? There's a lot of these things in life that I don't go to these days that I feel like I've been to because of the people who create content for these events. They do such a good job of capturing, you know, what the thing was, what it felt like to be there.
Yeah.
Am I talking too much? It sure feels like it.
We know good personalities in the car world.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Out of it. Totally out of it. Exhausted. I spent all day on my phone, you know, posting, and I was like, I'm too old for it. I need better glasses or new eyes or a bigger phone. got the biggest phone they make. They don't make a bigger phone. I'm going to start doing this shit on my iPad. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, my long distance, what's it called? Long vision? Long division? My long division's fine. I can see street signs, no problem. Holy crap. Well, let's get the East Coast feed out of the way, shall we? And then I'll try to compose myself and do the rest of this thing here. This is still from the other day. Don't remember what's going on because I don't think we ever found out. Were they were making cookies? I don't remember. Here, roll it out.
Uncle Jay and Nicole, look.
We're at Blue Jay Orchards.
Oh, yeah!
Well, we don't have any yet, but we're just looking to see if a tree has apples that we can pick off of it.
I'm sure there is a tree that has apples. I can see lots of trees that have apples, Mr. Ryan. And I remember you worked here back in the day. I remember actually, Jay. That was an apple farm.
But I want to pick apples like right now because
That's over here.
I don't want to just wait and walk around because we're walking around a lot.
Well, we got to get to the apples. We just got here 5 seconds ago. All right, here's your bag. All right, love you guys. East Coast beat.
Bye.
It's amazing. Oh, they're so good. Oh, that little girl might be the best broad feeder of all of them so far.
She might be, but she keeps them really funny.
That's what I'm saying. I think she's the best broadcaster feeder of all of the East Coasters so far. I can't talk today. I did a terrible job composing myself. I was laughing at that video. It was funnier than I thought. Also, too many thoughts. That is Blue Jay Orchards, where we talked about it on the show the other day because of Halloween, where I used to do the haunted houses. That's the apple orchard where we used to do haunted hay rides through the orchard. For the whole town. I mean, not me and my friends. I mean, the town. the Bethel JCs of Bethel, Connecticut put it on. Junior Chamber of Commerce. And then we used to scare all the local people. It was a famous thing. It was a famous thing that was in that area for like 30 years or something like that. And then this 250-year-old barn. Even while I was there, the insurance or whatever, there's a horrible haunted house fire somewhere in the world, and they changed all the regulations, so you had to have sprinklers. Otherwise, you used to be able to do whatever the heck. But now if you go into a haunted house maze, you'll notice none of them ever have a ceiling. It's because they have to have sprinkler access because of this thing. Anyway, we had to add that to this 250-year-old barn. So luckily, because it was a JC organization, like we got it donated by all of the labor was donated by all the people throughout the town. But it was crazy rigging up this old barn. And then there's no plumbing to support it in this whole thing. So what we would have to do every year, the rigging would stay, and then every year we'd have to get a tanker truck, park it next to the barn. I swear to God, every single year, park it next to the barn and have the fire department come out, fill it with water, and tighten it up and rig it to our thing and make sure that the big red box with all the stuff, was up to code and whatever. And we would do that every year for this 200-year-old barn for the all that for the East Coast.
Sounds crazy.
I'm sorry. I know. Like, we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. Got it. So then Saturday was lag. Well, it was a lot of stuff, but we went to lag. Lazy Autokennel Gathering, if no one knows what lag stands for. And that was a blast and a half. That was one of my favorite things we did this weekend. Totally surprisingly so. I didn't expect it to be anything, and it was really lovely.
Same.
Sounds terrible. I did not mean that, Paul. I didn't expect it to be anything. I expected it to just be any other thing, but it was very social.
They
I think
haven't had one in a while, right?
That's
so it felt like everyone was excited to be there.
Totally agree with you. It felt like everyone was happy to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you to Paul,
Thank you.
the Ed, Paul's twin sister for the first time ever.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
kind of amazing.
That was awesome.
Excuse me while I get the cat hair out of my head. I love that cat. We have a 23-year-old cat, lest anyone think it's a euphemism. So autokennel was great. I thought we would be able to leave the autokennel, at a certain time, like at a respectable time, spend 2 hours there or something like that. And then I thought we could cut through and meet up with the professor run, because the professor run was also happening. But the professor run is always kind of a surprise thing. He doesn't talk about it till like right before. So we had already committed to other stuff. Otherwise, we would have loved to have done the professor run. And if you don't know who the Professor Run is, follow the Professor Run on Instagram if you're into Porsches and Los Angeles Porsche stuff. And drives. And if he pops one up and you get an invite to it, go. It's great, really fun, good people. So we would have really liked to have done that, but we ended up staying at Lag till like 1 o'clock, and that was the whatever. It was impossible. Also, we were exhausted. So I remember coming home from that. We didn't watch Homeland or something after that. But then Sunday, I told everybody I didn't think I was going to go to Luft because I knew you were exhausted. I was exhausted. And I woke up at like 5 in the morning, which is totally early. And I had the early access ticket, So I hemmed and hawed around the house. Did anything I could do cleaning-wise that wouldn't make a lot of noise. Did the dishwasher, laundry, cat stuff. And, I was already showered, ready to... I had done everything I could possibly do, and then I was like, what am I doing? Why don't you just get your ass down there? I didn't want to go without you is really what it came down to, and it was like, you just can't really do it. But anytime I go anywhere, they're all disappointed. Everyone's disappointed to just see me. They want to see you. Or, us together, but really you. And so then I show up, and it's like that scene in Splash. Hey, Alan, where's that lady of yours? Hey, Alan, where's Victoria? Hey, Alan. And I just have to say, she's at home. She's at home. Where do you think she is? She's at home. Anyway, Luftgekuhlt ended up going, good God. Thought to myself, well, they've already done it here. How much better could it be? Oh, those guys know what they're doing. I don't know how involved Howie is with it anymore because I don't hear his name as much. I know he helped create it in the beginning, Howie Idelson. But salute to the whole team, whoever it is. For sure, Patrick Long, my goodness gracious, great job. For sure, Jeff Swart, who I did see there, thank goodness. An incredible job. We were talking about the staging and how he sets things up, and he's looking through other people's Instagrams to see if anyone captures the shot that he set up. You know what I mean? These things are all very...
I get it.
Yeah, there's that much thought. It's just so nice to see him at all times, too. Flying L Racing, Lisa Taylor, and Tom. Great to see them. I'm just running through the rack of all the people we saw. Karen from Motor Trend and Johnny Lieberman, the first people I saw when I came through the gate. That was cool. It was great to see everybody. I'm really glad I went. I don't know why I didn't want to go. Thought I was going to be overwhelmed with the whole thing, and it was totally fine. It's a lesson for me.
Good to know.
It was very well organized this year.
The posts were really good. People were happy to be there.
Logistically, though, people are complaining about the early entry and the late. I'm like, I don't care what your complaints are. If you went, it was better because of it. Having it broken up into two different. It's like turning the room in comedy or in a show business world. You turn the room, and then all of a sudden you don't have the big rush of people at the one time. It makes sense.
That has to be done. It makes everything better, and the photos are so much better, I think, for it. It's all
the event
fresher.
The photos for sure are better, but just as a human being at the event, I think it's better because it was packed. There was a lot of people there, but it just was never overwhelming, and getting through the gate wasn't overwhelming like it has been in the past.
Good.
So great job to everybody, and thank you so much for doing it. Really, really great. Really, really great. Was that it? Oh no, gosh! Then Monday. Monday was the big one because for most people, Luft-Gekühlt week stopped on Sunday.
Not us.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing was David Keen's. Man, I don't want to say that. Apology, but I really, really wanted to. Once I made it to Luft-Gekühlt, I wanted to come to your house. But I left Luft-Gekühlt at 11:30 in the morning, and I was driving away, and I looked up at the hill, and I looked at the 110, and I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to turn up the hill. And because, I'll just be the first one there, hang out for a little bit, and then other people. And I realized, the thing starts at like 2 o'clock. 11:30 in the morning might be a tad early. Might be a little early to arrive. Just a little bit. But I really did think about it. I genuinely did, because honestly, what I thought about was that Palos Verdes drive home through into whatever Hermosa or whatever that is there, the first beach, Redondo, whatever it is, and then I would get on the highway there. You know where I'm talking about? Past Hidden City or whatever that is, where the housing development fell off into the ocean. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
Yeah, I know. Sounds like a good drive.
So Monday was Magnus Walker's 10-year. Well, we were just getting the cars to the museum, but it is the 10-year anniversary of Urban Outlaw, the movie that got a lot of contemporary people into Porsche. And it's been 10 years, and the Peterson is displaying 10 of Magnus's cars, which is very, very cool. Logistically, nightmare. Got to get 10 of Magnus's cars from the garage where they live to somewhere else. Now, he can do it back and forth with Hannah and spend a whole Saturday or whatever. But not only would that be tedious and monotonous, it's not really as much fun as getting some of your friends and your favorite drivers together to do this thing together and make a little video. And I don't know why I'm telling you. She already knows I should be telling you. And so that's what we did. That's what he came up with. And it was really great. It was great to see all our friends there. We saw Sean Lee and Tony Rackley. And it's like magic mirror from... and I see Tommy and Billy and Jennifer. I told you I've lost it. There's very little on the blue card. That was the problem. I couldn't remember what to put on the blue card, so it's all coming out now. But it was great. It was amazing. All of the cars made it. We got some great shots going across the bridges. You'll all see the videos when they come out, which I would imagine is soon, because the cars are now sitting in the Peterson. That exhibit is being set up and curated today. And Magnus sent pictures before of them, Magnus and Hannah and Willow, in the museum next to, like, themselves in the museum. It was very funny.
That's neat.
He's having a surreal experience right now. Remember how we were when like the desk and chairs were up on stage at the Marconi under lights and everything?
Imagine.
His automotive collection and all the cars that he made and customized himself are now in the museum.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the bridge is gorgeous.
What is?
The bridge.
Do you think so?
I like that there's color. I'll probably get over it soon, but I like.
No, I like that there's color. I like that part. I don't know if I liked it. What I don't like is I don't know how you would describe this, but there are lights on the side of the entire bridge shining into traffic, basically at you, the person. Have you ever been through a toll booth? On the East Coast, this was big on the toll booth, so they could see the person's face for the cameras. If you didn't pay the toll, throw your money in the little basket. It's what the entire bridge feels like. Now, I don't know if that was like this when they built it or if they've put it up since all of that street racing and everything.
Yeah, that's
But
icky.
if there are any cameras on that bridge, they have your fingerprints. Because I took a picture of Paul Kennel behind me through the rearview mirror of Magnus's 993 art car, and I could see his face and everything.
That was nuts. You showed me that photo. It was so crystal.
I don't know how I feel about the bridge. What does everyone else think about the bridge? What do you guys think about the bridge? Difficult logistics. That's a dream for me. It looked like you all had a great day. Thanks, Babes and Classics. It was. It was pretty cool. It was great. They all made it. Not without any kind of like anything, but they all made it. Although we could have both been killed and wrecked the art car by an LA City bus. That was a situation. I decided to get out of its way and just make a U-turn on said bridge that we just mentioned. That bus was not happy with us. Yes, still packed, but a breeze. Yes, awesome. I love it. Okay. Anyway, it was great. Congratulations to Magnus, to Hannah, to Willow Walker, to everybody involved. I don't know. I'm so grateful to have been included in it, but I can't imagine what it must feel like for him to be doing all this. You know, he came to this country. He used to sell T-shirts on the boardwalk or jeans on the boardwalk.
I feel kind of the same way. I forget about the part, but he did a lot yesterday.
Yeah. So he was also directing, producing this video, as well as conducting all the cars and support team to make sure everybody stayed running, which we did.
So when everyone watches that, know that there's a lot that goes into shit like that.
Yeah. It's not just, all right, everybody follow me. All right, let's do some business, do a break, and get our guest in here. Christian J's... excuse me, let's take it from the top. Wow, that was rough. Christian James Hand's shows apparently this weekend went spectacularly well, so thank you to everybody from this show who bought tickets. His next show is on the 22nd. I know that, except I don't want to talk about it tonight because we are talking about a different show on the 22nd. However, we love our friend Christian James Hand, so please show him some love. And the big news, he got his Instagram back. Remember, his Instagram had 50-something thousand followers, or maybe even more than that, and it got hacked. So then he became the real Christian James Hand for a week. Racked up a couple thousand followers real quick, but he was able to get the original account back. So he's back on Christian James Hand.
That's awesome.
At least for now. And we've been through that, and it sucks. So welcome back. Congratulations. Also, still got that one owner original Z out there in Connecticut. It's silver on red. Sold originally, brand new to Bob Sharp Motors in Wilton, Connecticut. Call Mike at F40 Motorsports. That's Wayne Carini's place from Chasing Classic Cars. Doesn't say that in the yellow pages. If you're looking it up, it's F40 Motorsports. Letterman Podcast. Mike, I've been doing all the talking. Mike, who have you had? Who are you having? What's going on with the Letterman Podcast?
Greetings, everyone. Dave Rogalski, the former writer of Late Night with David Letterman, came on. We did a two-parter this week. Ooh. So part one dropped on Friday. Part two is dropping this Friday. And we have that one in the can because I am about 45 minutes from going to an airport that will fly me to a city, that will have a plane that will fly me to another city, that will have a plane that will fly me to New York City. And pretty darn excited about that.
Hang on, let me see if I get this right. In 45 minutes, you're leaving for New York City? Is that right? Is that possible?
I'm wearing my traveling clothes right now, everybody. This is my traveling clothes.
Good for you. So it's really
It's
happening.
exciting. It's very exciting. There's a whole bunch of Letterman folk that are waiting eagerly to greet Candy and I. We're excited about that. Incidentally, I'm supposed to say this. Irene Hoffman wants to sponsor one of your chairs. And just to let you know, she said that she's been trying to send you messages, but she's been kind of out of it a little bit, but she wanted me to let you know she wants to sponsor one of your chairs. Anyway, Rupert says hi. All these people say hi to you guys, and lots of love.
Rupert Jee from the Hello Deli.
From the Hello Deli, yeah. So anyway.
I love you. I wasn't going to do this tonight, but you know what? I guess we just will. I love you. We got a little bit of viewer mail from the Hello Deli here.
There you
this
go.
Box just
right on.
arrived. And I haven't actually, I cut the seal, but I haven't actually removed the contents yet. This, of course, I recognize because it's nice and brand new, and I needed a new one.
Yeah.
Official late show with David. That's right. Of course, this show went on the air in 1993 and has been off since 2005, but that doesn't stop us from loving it. There you go. These are brand new. This is so cool. Oh, here's another one. This looks like it's probably your size. Got another one of these here. Oh, look at that, a long sleeve.
Ooh.
Long sleeve. And it's a small, that'll shrink up for you. Oh,
Right.
my goodness gracious. Look at this. I have not had a late show hat in I don't know how many years. Look at that, Worldwide Pants Incorporated. Oh, Rupert, you are the best. Is this stuff that he's still making? Oh, look at it. Got a mug here, too. Or, Mike, can you answer this? Is this stuff he's still, what's the deal with this? Is he still making this
so
stuff?
I don't want to tell tales out of school, but when Dave retired, he gave a tremendous gift to Rupert, and that is that he has the rights to continually make licensed merchandise for the show. And so when he does run out, he does make new merchandise. We're going to go on one last big old run because obviously he can't run this thing forever. So over the next few years here, it's going to be the last opportunity for people to buy official late show merchandise from Rupert while he has the deli open still. So
that's amazing. I knew he was given the, whatever. I knew when he was given the rights to sell it, it was K&L Rock America back in the day. And then CBS got pissed at that. And then they opened the CBS store on the corner. And then that did pitifully, I bought shit in there. That's where I bought my Ed Sullivan Theater jacket. And then it didn't do well, and that went out of business. And then that's when I believe Rupert got it. And 90s, probably in the 90s, something like that. I think he's been selling.
I think
ever
so.
Since.
I think it's
like 99,
yeah, the late
2000.
90s, early 2000s. When we had George Schweitzer on the podcast, the CBS marketing exec, we actually talked to him a little bit about that, and he and we talked about, was it frustrating that Worldwide Pants was its own entity and you guys couldn't market the late show the way that you kind of wanted to when it came to merchandise? And he flat out said, yeah, that was frustrating. He said, but it didn't matter because we had Dave, and that just came with the territory, that it was a unique thing. And one of those unique things was that Dave gave those rights to Rupert, and even after he retired in 2015, Rupert continued to hold on to him. So we're talking about maybe throwing out a couple. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. We're talking about maybe seeing if we can make some limited edition Worldwide Pants shirts, maybe, for the last part of the run here.
I hope so, because I really miss my pants shirt is getting like really worn, and I've been looking at ways to reproduce it.
Yeah, well, and we talk about these jackets all the time and all this sort of stuff. The jackets have really cool patches on them that would make a really neat T-shirt design, and so there may or may not be some of that discussion when I'm in New York this week.
I love it. I'm so happy for you, buddy. Are you going to meet up with our? Well, you know what? Never mind. I'm sorry.
Tomorrow or Thursday. Thursday at 12.
Also,
Thursday
but I think
at 12.
Thursday at 12. Thursday at 12. Fantastic.
Yep.
That's the answer. Thursday at 12. He's going to meet with whoever I was asking about Thursday at 12.
That's right.
I realized yesterday that I think I bailed on you on Sunday, and I think I forgot totally because I wanted to talk to you again before, and then we never got to. So then I assumed the whole. Okay, so we're all good.
Not with a Luft weekend, buddy. No,
okay,
no,
good.
no.
Beautiful.
We're gonna do it. We just have to. It has to be good timing, and
Beautiful.
Your timing has been crazy lately. Oh, hey, can I throw a comment out
Thank you
there?
for
There's
understanding.
a really
Yes,
special
please.
comment from somebody here. Here, hold on. Let me get back to it. It's a really nice thing. A guy by the name of, a guy or gal, somebody named Kellen Patler said this. Not a question. Just wanted to say thanks to Jay and Nicole for their warm welcome at GVBC. Such wonderful, friendly group of people.
Oh, that's
Kellen Patler is the username.
I remember meeting that guy. It is a guy, and he was very nice. He was just that nice in person too. I mean, he said something similar to that in person of thanks for doing this, thanks for being whatever. I mean, I'm going to say you're welcome because it's rude not to be gracious. I've learned that at this point in my life. But the truth is, it's people like you, Kellen, who make it what it is. That's the truth. So, you know, while we're up here, kind of, we might have the fucking drum major thing. It's all the other people who live it. So thank you. And that goes to everybody who came out because there was massively good vibes across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so few dicks these days. It's crazy. I think it's enough of a known quantity now that like if you're gonna come up and be a dick, like that's sort of a kamikaze behavior. Like that's a weird.
Cross the threshold of no one allows it. It's not just us. Like no one wants it and
Right.
running around.
Yeah. They all realize what makes it special, and they're like, "Hey, knock that off.
Protect it.
Hey, brother, you need a hug because
Yep.
whatever you're doing doesn't fly."
Yep. Which is great.
All right, so there's that. Thank you very much. Shout out to Rupert Jee and the Hello Deli, your only source for officially licensed Late Show with David Letterman merchandise. Go say hello to Rupert at hello-deli.com. Especially say hello for Nicole because oftentimes.
I cannot.
Yes.
We're
St.
going to
Clair
send you guys
Insurance.
a very special East Coast feed from there for Thursday's show.
From you.
We're going to,
Oh, I
because
can't
we'll be
wait.
on the East Coast. It'll be the first time I'm on the East Coast, so I figure we can send you an East Coast feed with.
Are you going to go
with
to Rupert's?
And, what's that?
You're going to go to see Rupert?
Oh yeah, and we're going to do a
Beautiful.
bunch of filming, including an East Coast feed.
Outstanding. I love it. Oh, you guys are the best. It's hilarious. Hey, Dave. Let's tell you about our friends at Series 1 Films here. Series 1 Films is more than just films. They can set you up with effective marketing solutions like press releases on major news sites, scale your rank on Google, and produce cinematic content for your automotive brand or business. You can check them out by visiting series1films.com. series1films.com.
There's the one films that come.
And as Mike is denoting up in Canada, the one is a number one. Also, it was great fun to see this fella and spend the weekend with him. 3 of the 4 days, anyway. Jeff St. Clair from St. Clair Insurance. They say all which separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. In the old days, it was the difference between men and boys is the price of their toys. Does anyone else remember that?
I do.
Yeah, okay. So that was the thing about, like, when you're a little kid, you get the car or whatever. It was saying that boys never grow up, basically. Just the price of their toys changes.
That was sad.
So being that we sort of agree with that sentiment, you need to insure those toys. And this is the guy to do it. Licensed in most states, St. Clair Insurance shops top providers so you get the best coverage for your toys. What types of toys, Mrs. Ryan?
Collector cars.
That's right. Truly anything. We like collector cars because that's what our friends have, but truly anything. Anything of value. Your home, your business, your life. Sells life insurance, I'm sure of it. Boy, that'd be funny if you didn't. Ned Ryerson? You can check out St. Clair Insurance by visiting. Oh, by the way, he loved the sex toys thing, not so much. Yeah, the other day talking about sex coverage for your sextoys.com. Yeah, we had quite a few conversations about that. All good, by the way. It was just very funny. Just very funny. He bought into it. But now we need a 24 karat. Now we need to find out what the truth is, how much it would weigh, what it would be worth. So Ariel will have to get on that and do that research.
Good.
And then maybe she can get sponsored by coverageforyourtoys.com because if all of a sudden he's got it there. Synergy. All right. Did we do it? Is that everything? Jesus Christ. I want to get Guido in here, for God's sake. Nice guy. He was worried about being late. Now we got him out there waiting for the whole time. Sorry, buddy. All right. Quick break. Say again?
I'm going to disappear at this point. Peace and love, everybody.
Love to our Canadian producer, Mike, up there, who is visiting New York now. You're off to New York. And when do you arrive there? Sometime tomorrow?
Where you should be boots on the ground by 11 a.m.
Boots on the ground. Okay. All right. Well, let me how it goes. Sounds like
got it.
Patton. Way to go, troops. Nobody from this generation knows who Patton was. Holy fuck. This guy's too old.
Peace and love, kids.
Love you, buddy. Fly safe. Love
you
to all
too.
our friends in
Okay,
New
thank
York.
you.
Who you say? Steve O'Donnell, Rupert, anybody else you see? Tell them we love them.
Friday night at Steve's. Okay, you got it.
Oh,
Peace and
yeah.
love.
East Coast feed and a half, please.
Bye, guys.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right, quick break here. Listen to this quick message from Oh So Delicious Hot Sauce, which Mrs. Ryan is the hot sauce.
Made by bears.
Oh, so delicious. It's a hot sauce made by bears. Garlic and serrano mixed with love and care. You can put it on your eggs, pour it on your rice. It's great on a leg, it's better on a slice. It's oh so delicious. It's a hot sauce made by bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce.
Oh, my
Great
God,
on everything except oatmeal.
Get your bottle today
wrote it
at
everywhere else
OSODelicious.org. $1 from every bottle
did this
sold
right before
goes
we
to the
sat down,
National
too.
Military
So thank you.
Family Association.
You set this all up.
Well. Uh-oh, where'd he go? He's leaving. Well, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. It's live. You do whatever you want.
Is it live now?
You want to leave? I'm respelling his name because for some reason it's spelled Coco Romero. Yeah, we're here.
Oh, I didn't know.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome back.
right, how's
Yeah,
it
this
going? All
music
right,
means, there we go. Look at that.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought because I got up. You put the music. It was like, that's why I came back. I thought it was like, where you going, music? Get back here, music. You know, like, the Oscars?
That's hilarious.
That's why I got up. I was like, I'm not
Where does he think he's going?
Yeah, instead of like playing off the music at the Oscars, I thought it was like, no, the guest is supposed to stay here. I don't know. It's my first time in something this nice in a place. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy
Jay,
you're
Nicole,
here.
nice to see you guys again.
Thank
I had
you.
such a good time with you guys.
Thank you for being so patient, and I want to. What did you think of that experience? What did you think of doing the live show with us?
It was
'Cause
amazing.
That was the first time we met you.
Right. It was, I mean, first of all, I mean, the museum, as you know, it's spectacular. And then the way you guys set it up, with the tables, the lights, I mean, the banner behind, it was just great. And the desk, and, and it was really nice to do a set and then do the interview. Like, talking about David Letterman, obviously, as a comedian / actor, our goal, or not goal, but it's like, we would love to go on one of those late night shows to talk about what we're doing or do a set and then sit down and talk. So it's kind of like, I kind of got that little feeling.
Just a tiny
Just
taste.
a tiny
Yeah.
taste of it, and it was so fun because I just love talking. So it's just easy when,
Here's what I'm taking with. Well, you are a good talker. You've got a great presence and energy. But here's what I was taking with. I didn't know who you were when the Marconi said, "Hey, we got this guy," and we looked you up. You're very funny. Now,
thank you.
That's the tough part.
Thank you.
That's the really tough part. So, why are you so funny? How did you get to be funny? Tell
Well,
me why you're even into comedy to start it off.
Well, God, well, thank you for saying I'm funny. That's nice.
Well, here's what I'm saying.
that's
I'm really happy you're here now because there will be a time when it'll be harder to get you. Is what I'm thinking. I don't
my
think
God.
you're going to be where
Your
you
lips
are
to
now.
God's
for long.
ears. I would wish that would happen, but I have a lot of, like, my dad was really funny. My uncles are funny. My brother's funny. My mom, there's a lot of funny people in my family as well, and I mean, stand-up just started because of, you usually start, growing up, I had a huge stutter, so I was teased a lot. So, but I would always entertain when I was a kid. So I would do with my high school buddies, or even when I was a kid, I would always sing at parties or...
To overcome the stutter, you
Yeah,
were
because when I sang, I would never stutter, or I would do dancing a lot. I would dress up as Elvis, let's say, and do like an Elvis parody. Or I did a lot of, my first bits were usually parodies of songs, because Weird Al Yankovic was kind of like someone I looked up to, because when I sang, I never stuttered. So I was like, I'm going to just do songs then and then, it's just always having to be...
He was the master of that at that time.
Oh, my God. He
Weird
still
Al.
is. Sometimes he does a lot of new songs that drop every now and then, and you're like, that's weird. But it's not as a big thing anymore, but he still has it. And I guess, because instead of having the people tease me, I wanted them to laugh instead. So that's where you just... you kind of joke around a bit more. You're kind of the clown a bit sometimes. You do weird things to get attention, to make people laugh, to then offset the the teasing or the.
That's it. Didn't you find that you could create a bubble of safety? That's what it was for me when people teased me, and it was like, as long as I could make the bully laugh, not only would I not get punched, I might even get a friend out of the bully.
That's what a lot of times, like, I mean, most comedians, that's why they start, not why they start because they're being bullied, but it's always something.
It's where comedians say that's where they knew they were funny. They could make the bully laugh.
Right.
And they were fine.
Or some of them would say also, like, my dad was such a hard man, but he smiled. So I was like,
Yep.
if I could make it's a lot of stuff
That's what
you
I'm
do.
thinking,
Right.
yeah.
It's got a lot of,
But either way, you're trying to get something from somebody. We're all filling a hole, right?
deep down in every comedian, whether you're improv and I think in comedy, it has to do with some insecurity at some point in your life that laughter kind of masked for a bit. And you're like, oh, well, I could do this, but you don't know what it is at some point. You just know you're kind of funny. And then you have to find your lane of what to do. What do you want to, you want to write, you want to stand up, you want to improv. But it usually started.
I know
back
my
to
brain's funny, but where do I apply it?
Right.
Okay.
Because every aspect of comedy has improv is more, you have to listen a lot. And it's yes, less, and there's a lot of practice. And you just stand up is a lot of writing, and you have to understand your audience, know who you are.
Your voice,
the structure of a joke, the voice. Yeah. I mean, that takes a long time just to find your voice.
It's a balance. You mentioned just a handful of things there: the structure of a joke, finding the voice, the confidence level.
Right, and also, you don't want to be. For me, I don't want to be monotone. So, what parts of my routine do I slow down? Do I go because I'm also very hyper. So when I started doing comedy, I was just talking a mile a minute to also kind of offset the stuttering, just in case it came back. If I go fast, maybe I won't pause and then stutter, and they'll catch me. So I would really go really fast because then.
So that they would have to keep up with you.
It was also just the way I talk fast, and if I just set everything, then hopefully I just get it over with. Don't stutter. It's kind of like getting to point A and point B quickly without anything happening. So then, but then I realized when I was doing sets, especially when you start, you do 5-minute sets, 7-minute sets, and when you start doing 12-minute sets, 15-minute sets, and I'm speeding up and talking really loud, some people at some point are like, okay, it's just nonstop. So you need that. It's like, I can't even. How is
it's an assault?
Right. You see people kind of like this, and I'm like, it's a bit too much. Like after a certain time, just like if somebody talks monotone for an hour, you're like, dude, we got what? So it's to find that. So you see it with Chappelle and Bill Burr. They have these ups and downs, slow, fast,
it's
loud,
a ride.
slow. Because if you're there for a whole hour, you want to enjoy the show, and it's ups and downs. It's not always one thing.
You can't be on a roller coaster for
Right.
an hour. Roller coaster's fun for 3 minutes.
Right. At some point, you want 5 minutes of just, oh, this is good, right? Like, relax, going up and just, where are we going? What is this?
Well,
Where's this
named
leading?
a couple good ones, and I put you in that category of, like, if you think about what you guys are saying. Like, it's not a constant sled ride.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you
also
guys
especially
take
when you
it-
start doing longer sets, you also want to then start planning, what goes good after this joke, that joke. Like, you kind of want to make it, so people could follow you, and it's not, you talk about ghosts and then traffic and then my mom. You're like, whoa, what? Like, how did he do that in 3 minutes? Like, all over the place. You still want to
Nice
kind of be
segue.
like, wasn't? Yeah, right. The ghosts. Anyways, my mom's over here. Like, what? I don't, so you want to. But I think the more years you're into it, then you start thinking about other aspects of comedy, like it's kind of like
This
once
is like
you do
anything. You're 10,000 hours. The
yes,
deeper you go.
oh yes, and then you start noticing the details, and then when you see others doing it, and then you become also less judgmental because you're more about the craft, and you're like, oh, he's probably at this stage of his career, so he doesn't understand ABC. I mean, I'm not
so
I'm not
impressed
perfect
with you.
at anything, but it's kind of like there are things when you look at it, like, oh, because when we start, we always want to be our idols. So, but they've been doing it, like the idols we have when we start stand-up are usually 10 to 20 years into it. So they've done all this. They make it look so easy. So
Most
that's,
people are 10 years into it before you've heard of them.
of course. Oh my God.
And that's the thing that
even
nobody
Kevin Hart, when he blew up,
understands.
like, wait, he's 19 years into it, and then he blew up.
I did a
But-
pilot with him in 2004 or 5.
Oh yeah.
He had done a couple things, but he was not famous.
No. I mean, in those days, also just for laughs, when they'd see you, they'd option a lot of the great comics for TV shows, and then if it didn't work, but they'd have them on ABC
like
or
retainer.
Fox. Yeah, and so someone like a Kevin Hart or even like a Sebastian Maniscalco, they've been through all the bad stuff as well. They've done it. So when you see them, yeah, it looks easy. But when I start, like any comic, I was like, oh, I'm naturally funny. I could make it. Like, you just think because people tell you're funny. I could imitate.
I can make my friends laugh.
Right. I could imitate Delirious from,
Oh, right. I can recite the whole album.
Yeah, if I
I'm
could do
hilarious.
that, if I could do that, I could do, and then but once you start doing it, and once you start really loving it, and once you start loving the process of it, and not doing it for money, but you actually like the sitting down, creating a joke, and then trying it at open mic, and then taping yourselves and doing it a few times. Yeah,
craft
figuring
of
out.
it.
Yeah, there's laughs always here. Maybe the joke is here and not there. There's a lot of times where I start with a joke. Before I would just like, this is the joke, and I'm gonna do it.
Sorry, you
And-
don't get it.
I would usually end a punchline with like attitude lines, I would scream out my punchline or do something that would kind of be more. Instead of now, it's like no, the writing's not funny of it. So like, where does the joke go? And that takes way longer. But I'm not lazy like I used to be because, I'm really enjoying. Like you said, that 10,000 hours. It's like I'm really enjoying the little details that I notice now. I'm like, yeah, maybe a pause here, no words is better for the joke than words. Silences are huge in comedy.
Taking a beat.
Yeah, maybe do you test raising it? Like little things like those little details. It really changes everything.
You were talking about That's a great way to reset the room too. Is to just.
I mean, you
Just
have to at some
give
point.
it some time.
You have to at some point.
Let everyone else take a beat too, because they're the ones who need it too.
I mean, it's like it's cars and comedy. It's like when you're racing a car, you got to get pit stop. You need to change a tire. You can't just sustain that speed all the time. And the crowd also can't. It's a bit too much, especially if you have longer sets. Then it's a bit too much. But
Yeah.
you see, one question it took me 20 minutes to answer why I started comedy. See, I told you I love talking. I can't even.
Outstanding.
But I started because of insecurity and this, and then you just start falling in love with it, and now it's something that I really enjoy doing and really finding the details and everything, and it's I've never had this much fun performing, that's for sure at this stage.
Yeah, but you're also probably really coming into you now, right? I mean, I think you're liking the craft because it's becoming less work. You have to do the work, but it's not as much work.
Yes,
You're not figuring
yes.
yourself out anymore.
Yes.
The first couple years,
Good
even
point.
doing a podcast,
Yeah.
you're figuring yourself
Oh my
out.
God.
It's an emotional. You're just pulling layers off. I thought I'd beat that. I thought I'd taken care of that. And it's a weird. I'm sorry. This isn't about me in particular. It's
No,
literally about
but
anyone who does this.
But it's anything you do something creative at the first few times, because just this setup, I can only imagine how long this took you to get everything the way you both wanted it. I mean, this must have taken, I don't know. I mean, how long did it take you to get the podcast? Is it even there?
I mean, no,
Obviously,
it'll never be. Well, in this
in your mind, it'll
facility,
never be there because you.
I worked in real television. She was a real publicist for like really, for big
Right,
time
yes,
acts.
of course, yeah.
So the idea of doing a podcast at home was something that made sense to us because of her life, our life changes and everything. This all happened because of me and my craziness, and like I'm not stimulated by just having the dining room table and the microphones from Amazon. I was like, but I'm used to using equipment that's better than that, and I'm used to having sponsorships, and I'm used to having all these lights, and I'm used to having blah 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 blah. So in order for us to keep doing it, it sort of has. This was never the intention. The answer is from the day we started till now is how long it's taken to become this.
And that is the best thing you just said. This wasn't the intention, because the intention is the most important thing. Like I realized when I would write jokes, when I started, my intention was always to write a killer joke. Kill. But it's very like ego based. I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna write. No, this joke is gonna kill. And that was my. I'm gonna get it. Like you just want to. The intention was always to write jokes to be better than everybody. But it wasn't. But the intention wasn't right. That's why it never succeeded. But then when I changed the intention, no man, I just want to be more vulnerable and honest about my insecurities and make fun of them, because then maybe somebody could see it in them. Once I did that and started really picking myself apart and be like, oh, I do this, it's funny, or really enjoying the specifics of it, and the intention was to just tell a good story.
Yeah.
Without thinking this is gonna be the joke of my set. This is it's in my mind I was always writing killer closers. It's like what?
Yeah, they're gonna laugh a lot here.
Yeah, so then you're trying to find the most biggest thing to end on, and then nothing kind of makes sense, and then people are like, "What do you?" So when you start enjoying, when the intention is right, like your intention, and your intention is pure and it's nice, and it's also more. It's not as selfish as the other intention, and if you just accept whatever happens, then you never know where it will take you. You know, so that's why this is amazing that you said that you had no intention for this, but you had a good intention what you wanted, but then this just came along naturally. It just grows into something, and I think if you do everything right for the right reasons, and you just stay in the present moment, and don't project too much. I'm going to do this, then that. Then you never know what will arise from that.
Yeah, you're describing exactly how I live, open to the universe as I describe that, versus solely goal driven. Now, life has to be a combination of both, obviously.
Of course, yeah, that's the thing.
But you have to be open if you want that magic to come in your life. You have to be open to having some free room in your schedule for magic to happen.
And you have to be open to being uncomfortable and like doing things.
Oh, vulnerability is massive because the whole part is faith.
Right. Right, and people and audiences, and they're not dumb. You know, they'll see someone on stage who's sincere and who's not sincere or is putting on an act. People are, they're very smart these days because it's like they have TV, they have every app possible, they have YouTube. So audiences are so, like, they see things a lot now. So they kind of know what they like, what they don't like, who's real, who's not.
We're also, I think, we as a people, like we the world, are becoming more like aware, more. We're just becoming kind of smarter in general, I think. And we're just in tune to the stuff you're talking about. And you can tell now and you can feel when someone's authentic or not.
Yes.
So when you started switching from the killer to leaning into picking apart Guido himself, people will watch that people will watch you pick yourself apart all day because oh, Jesus Christ, this guy's unraveling. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, it was different. When I started, I was always like, do you ever see that guy or that girl play? I was always like,
yeah, because I'm so good.
That guy's stupid. Right. But deep down, I was like, man,
we're covering.
You're like, you're just as scared as that guy. Like, you're still scared. Like, acting all tough, but deep down, I'm like, no. Instead, now it's like, I'm really scared too. Like, you just start dissecting my insecurities or where I'm lacking in ability, and you talk about that. People, and you do jokes about that. People like that. I find. Plus, I like talking like that. It's more fun.
It's wonderful.
And also for me, it's great to talk about all the stuff, the bad stuff that's happened, or the crazy stuff that's happened, or the weird, like instead of trying to create a routine to make fun of a certain person or people or situation, and just keep it on me.
Didn't you find your material was so much easier to remember when it was really about you versus fiction?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm talking to people in
their
my
memories,
living room.
Their memories,
Yes.
right? They just flow out.
So I'm not so concerned about the words. I'm just gonna say it the way I say it, and even if but it's real, people are not gonna care if it's like, well, you said and it was but whatever. Like maybe some people are like, are you okay? Are you drunk? I was like, no, man, I'm just tired. Like people are always, but most people they see the sincerity if you're talking to them, and
taking that time to sticking with it long enough to get to that point where you realize that that's something you have to do.
Yeah.
Because we all think we know it when we come out of
Of course.
Has that helped you in your regular life as well? I don't want this to turn into like a therapized session.
Yeah.
Because when you're working through your shit, it can't help but, once you've worked through something over here, it can't help but manifest itself over here.
I find it...
The filter applies throughout your whole life.
Yeah. I've definitely find that it's made me a bit more present in other stuff that I do in my life with my kids or with my wife, or with my friends, because I'm not chasing anything anymore. So I'm not, there's nothing now more important that's out there. I have everything, so I have everything. Yeah. I have everything. I don't need anything else, and I'm very lucky. I'm one of 8 billion people in the world. There's no way I'm not one of the luckiest 1%. There's no way. There's no way. I don't care how much money they have, and I don't. I mean, I have a little, but no, but you know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
it's not about that for you.
It's not, and not anymore. Before, when I moved here from Canada, because I saw you from Canada. Yeah, the Canadian.
I completely forgot you're
I'm from
Canadian
Montreal,
too.
Canada. Yeah, and my wife's from Canada. My kids are born in Canada.
He's gone now, but he was Kelowna. He's up in Kelowna, British Columbia.
I'm doing a show in Kelowna, October 29th.
Come
Kelowna.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I'm doing
gosh.
my one-man play.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
My one-man play. That's the one I've been touring as well. My one-man play.
29?
The 29th, yeah.
You're going on the business list. We will plug you next week.
So that's the thing. So, so I agree. It's really, it's changed the way I am because I'm not really. Because before when I moved here, especially when you first move here, you're like, oh, you got, the more you hustle, the more you're out there, and the more you attack, the more, but then it took me away from my kids and from my wife that, when the world stopped in 2020, I was always home. And I realized how much I'd missed in that time. So, and that's what really changed everything. I was like, man, I got to be better at this. Because this is way more fun. In the end, I was like, not having to perform or anything for a year or 6 months, whatever it was, where you had nothing to do, no auditions on Horizon, it was nice because I know no agent was calling me, like, you got an audition. So I was like, oh, you could just relax. And yeah, I read a lot. I caught up on a lot of stuff I had to do, got into a lot of new, just meditative exercises to just relax and
wellness stuff.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm always like, aggressive, go get him,
that probably fit in with the LA hustle thing when you first moved here.
Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely did.
Gotta have a side hustle.
Definitely did, yeah, it definitely did. But I realized that the more I'm just relaxed, the more things I do better.
They will attract. So there's the chase and the attract theory.
Yeah, because also I'm not doing it for money or fame or everything. I just love doing it. I would do it for free at this point. That's how much I love it. So once I got to that point, like, you know what? I would do it for free.
Oh, I love that.
And I heard somebody say it. This is not my, I didn't come up with this, but I don't know, someone famous, comedian or an actor, somebody said, if you're willing to do it for free, that's when you know that you're, getting somewhere that's different than what you were before. And I sincerely, I mean, obviously,
like it's showing growth or something.
Not in me. Yes, it's actually showing growth in me because I actually love doing it, and the intention is not for money or attention out there. It just makes me feel good, and I love writing and creating and seeing something from pen to paper to out there and seeing the reaction. And then I let it go and try to do it again.
So there's a satisfaction in the process for you, obviously.
I love the process more. Before it was about the destination. Now I'm all about the process, and that's the difference.
It is.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. What about, and this is where I get heady as well. What about, I see comedians also in a way, people will think I'm crazy, but it's a service industry in a weird way because you're providing people good vibes. You're providing people laughter. You're providing people carefreeness. You're providing people a place to go sit alcohol in the dark with their friends, whatever. You're providing levity to people. I mean, that's the whole job. To me, that's like a weird, universal, good thing.
Making people smile is good. It's a great thing to say. Like basically what you're doing is I'm gonna go and make people smile.
Go make people happy.
Go make people happy and laugh, and hopefully they'll go home and repeat a few things I said and tell their friends. And it's one of the, especially in this day and age, ever since I went after the pandemic when I started doing shows again, it's even nicer. I feel better now. Because I know what's been going on. And just to make people laugh now with the silly things of my life, it's really great. I just came back from a tour in Canada, and they were really shut down for a long time over there. So they just basically, I think this summer was the first time they could go out.
Yes.
And they were, they just like loving it.
I saw you were selling out shows, which was fantastic.
It was insane. And they really want to be there, and they really wanted to be there and watch and pay attention. It's been really nice.
So the audiences are more present as well, not just the talent. I mean, you're saying this from a talent perspective, but the audiences are more present as well.
Sometimes, although in Canada, sometimes, because they haven't been gone, because they haven't been out in so many years, you have to re-educate them how to be an audience, because they think they could just start talking to you now. Because they've been home all the time at YouTube. So after 3 years, no. Your voice is way too loud for this discussion.
I'm not television now.
I'm not YouTube. You can't just talk back to me. Yeah. So you have to, sometimes.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
And they just talk as if they're at home. They're like, I don't know, did you believe that? I'm like, miss, I can hear everything you're saying. You believe it or not, shut up. Like, I just,
Yeah, you probably work that to your advantage, though.
Yeah, I'm able to improv my way out of it, but it's funny. I do see that. Like, the audience says it, But
you have the personality for crowd work, is my point. I mean, you're so affable and likable. I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong about this. I haven't seen.
I'm a horrible person at home. I beat my kids. I'm okay. I'm a nice guy. No. I love. If something happens, I'm never worried if something happens. Put it that way. Yeah.
You got
I'll be fine. Yeah. I mean,
You're
also,
like, hey man, I was a stutterer. I got this.
yeah, I got a lot to say. I got a lot of backlog of things that I wanted to say, like these sentences and words and concepts that I'm like, from grade 4 that I got to let out.
I always heard, I never had a stutter, but I've had other things that I've had to conquer, whatever. And but I have talked to some friends who were stutterers when they were younger, people who are famous now, and they said, it's not really, it's more the fear that when you start stuttering, you can't stop, and that's when the dominoes start falling. They're not really even worried about the stutter. The stutter's no big deal, but like everyone looking at them while they're stuttering, it becomes a stage fright thing.
Oh man.
Is that what it was for you?
Yeah, but I also had a really bad stutter. So it was like anytime I talked, I knew it could just go into full on, like still to this day, there's certain letters that if I have an audition, and especially when you go live to the casting, if it's a callback or a producer session or whatever, when you have there's still certain letters that if the sentence starts with that letter, I'm like, oh man, here we go. Like, there's still like a letter A, or if a vowel starts with a vowel, I'm off to the races. So I need to have some kind of, I haven't conquered it completely. There's still certain letters that start my sentence. I'm like, I'm going to have to figure, so I got to do some kind of weird tick that they don't know.
Like a fake tick? On top of?
I'm going to have to do something. I have to start my sentence with a hard K. K always helps me. If I start with a hard K and go into my, anyways, people are like, because then people are like, check the mic, like, is there something wrong with it? Because then I'll know they'll check oh no, I'm just giving out my secrets. But I'm saying, because if a sentence starts with,
Now I hear it.
Yeah.
That is a good secret. But you have a trick to cover.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel, are you okay? Are you like Samson, you just cut your hair? Do you feel like you gave your secret away?
No, I'm fine.
Okay,
I have
good.
a lot more that I do. People could use them.
Thank God. Right, good for you.
People could use them. It's fine. It's for all the stutters out there. Hard K, it works. But, also as I'm getting older and a bit calmer and more confident, it's also, because I don't need for everybody to hear what I have to say all the time now. Before I was like, no, but you gotta hear what I gotta say.
Oh my God, that's a young person's thing. We all have that.
Young persons. I just stopped this 2 years ago. I'm 45 almost.
Well, we got rid of it late.
Right. We're late bloomers, I guess, or.
No, I said that when I said it to Marco one time. We were having a conversation someplace at breakfast, and he was talking about something, whatever. You know how people get heated. And I said, yeah, making sure people know how you feel is a young man's game. And it was like.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
But you have to know how I feel about this. Like.
You're right.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
It's true. It is a young man's game. I don't.
Let it go.
I'm really not interested in telling people how I feel. I'm just like, I'm good, but I just don't want to tell them stuff. It's also because I don't want to speak. Like, because then you got to start and you got to tell the problem and all that. And so
because you have to craft. You have to craft a whole thing.
Right.
They're not qualified to talk to you.
Right. But when you're young, you want everybody to know. Even if they don't want, it's like, how you doing? Like, man, do you know? It's like, oh man, it's Guido over here. I forgot.
I'm so glad you asked.
So glad you asked, because last night in traffic, I was like, no, here we go, and we're off to the Guido's stories and his. I still have that. I can still say some people. I'm like, okay, you could go. I know you want to leave, go. But at least I'm aware that I'm like dragging people down in my conversation, because I could tell by the. I'm like, I got it. Like, at least I'm more aware when I'm doing it. And before, I'd be like, why aren't you listening to me? Like, it's like, I thought they were rude. I'm like, you're very rude. You should be looking at me all the time when I talk.
Maybe that's the win. We never actually change. We just become more aware of it. So it becomes funny and not a big deal.
And when I'm aware of it, sometimes do you ever think back? You're like, oh my God, think of back some conversations. Like, now that we know things, you're like, wow, that was pretty horrible. Like, I can only imagine their perspective.
Oh, context
of me. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
that's
if
my
I would have
entire
known
life.
this now.
My entire life.
Ah, man, it never. It's a constant thing now. I'm like, man, if I would have known this just 5 years ago, that could have been different. That could have been different. But I guess it's why we're here. I guess But it's happening constantly with me.
I think you're willing to rewrite yourself every day. There's a lot of people who aren't willing to rewrite the programming and be better. I like to. We have a thing.
That's amazing.
Us and all our friends. We want to be better tomorrow than we were. Better today than we were yesterday. Better tomorrow still. Regardless, you're always constantly improving.
I love. I'm into Stoicism now, so I read a lot of. Ryan Holiday, the gentleman Ryan Holiday. He's got a great podcast on Stoicism. He's, I think, the leading expert right now. Young guy.
There's something ironic about that to me. A Stoicism podcast.
It's amazing.
I know, but it's just ironic.
Yeah, he's like,
sitting there in silence.
let's all think. You're like, what? But he has a book called Meditations, and every day it's a different quote from it. So it'll say like, January 1st all the way all year round. And every day is a quote from a Stoic, or it's Cato, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and there's a quote, and then he explains the quote, and you think about that all day. And every month is a different theme. One month is, love of faith, which is amor fati. The other one is discipline, courage. So just every day, just reading it first thing in the morning it does kind of make you reset or start the day of, okay, I'm going to concentrate on this one thing today. Like, don't let, why don't I concentrate, why don't I try to respond today instead of reacting? Respond, and you try to think of that all day, and obviously then I start yelling at people. I'm like, that wasn't good, and then you come back and you're like, that was a very reaction, but then you respond, and you have to, I'm like, oh, this happened.
You blow it a couple times while you learn the lessons.
Right. And then also every day you have something, and at the end of the day you kind of take stock of, you're like, man, did I accomplish what I wanted to do today? And if you do that, I don't do it every day because you forget, there's busy, you're tired, but most of the time when you do that, it's amazing how things change, and then things around you change, people around you change, the people you hang out with change, the people you attract change, and it's nice.
Oh, that's
it's like
fantastic.
like you said, I love what you said, reset yourself, trying to get
Rewrite
better.
yourself,
Rewrite yourself. And it is like a program. Our brain is like the biggest computer of all time,
We got something whenever we came out. That was like, the iPhone
This is
out of
the
the box,
biggest
and then
computer.
we've just been...
Exactly. And imagine all the stuff that's been happening, and and we have all these stories that we replay where they're not even real, and
Yeah, we've changed them so much over the years.
right. But people are still affected by those stories from when they're young, but we're not even that same person anymore,
So they should all start a podcast or become a comedian like you to go through that work and get it out.
God, right. Right. But if you start telling that, there's gonna be a lot of bad stuff out there. Yeah, you got only when you're ready, people. Only when you're ready, okay? Only when you're ready. This is just because you imagine someone's like, I got problems, I'm gonna be a stand-up. You start talking about their parents and stuff. You're like, then scare people. There is a balance, there is a balance, but I think it is very therapeutic. Like I said, if the intentions are right, then definitely, everybody should. I think stand-up is a good thing. It's very therapeutic if you know how to take things and make fun of it. If you can make fun of your shortcomings and okay to share it with people, I think that's a great thing. And I think it kind of lets go of a lot of weight on your shoulders and a lot of anger and a lot of and people are so nice. People are way nicer than people think. I know people get, the internet, but that's only a few. But most people I've met are just so nice. I drove from Montreal all the way down to Orange County twice to move all my stuff, and I've passed by, Nebraska, Ohio. We went everywhere, because 2 times I did 2 different journeys. I took the first time I went
different
up,
roads,
with my family through Colorado, down Utah, Vegas, and then with my brother we went down and we went through Arizona because we wanted to go see Tombstone because we loved the movie Tombstone.
I'm your Huckleberry.
And,
sure.
Yeah, right. Oh my, it was amazing, and we love Billy the Kid, Young Guns. So we wanted to track Billy the Kid, in New Mexico. We went to prison.
Wow.
Where he escaped,
And
you love
everywhere. Those 90s westerns, huh?
80s and 90s is. I just wish everything I do is 80s and 90s.
So,
this is why I love this. It's like I was like.
You are not alone.
And everywhere I've been in this country, everybody's been so nice to me. Everywhere, from waiters and waitresses to concierges to everybody. It doesn't matter where I'm at. They've all been nice. It's
perhaps you as well. I'm saying you get what you give. I mean, I think that seems to be who you are. I've only met you a couple times, but you're batting 1,000 or whatever the good one is.
That's only 2 times. The third one, you're gonna be like, no. I
don't see.
He's a 2 out of 3 guy.
I don't see
Guido's a 2 out of 3 guy.
What about the Marconi? You had fun the other day doing a little taste, but now you're doing.
Now I'm doing my full headlining
thing.
set. Yeah, I'm excited. I just came back from tour for 3 weeks, all over the place doing it. I'm going to Vancouver Friday. Have a show Vancouver Saturday, and I'm here next week. And I can't wait. I was just there this morning. Because we're filming it, so I was there with the production crew and John and Nick and Monique, and
they're awesome.
They're amazing.
Great team to
They're
work
amazing.
with.
Yeah, they're just great people. They work hard, and their intentions
and
are
they
good
get
too.
Results.
But their intentions are good too.
100%.
So that's why they're successful, and that's why what they do will be successful. I mean, they're very involved. They're hands-on, all hands-on. and their intentions are right because they're doing things for the right reason. So we just set up the stage. We're gonna see what's gonna be in the background. So it's gonna be
great.
It's gonna be. I'm excited.
October 22nd.
October 22nd.
8 o'clock.
8 p.m. Doors will open at 7 because there will be a few bars. And
Yes.
you can walk
Marconi's,
around.
They do the setup nice.
Their bars are unbelievable. It's like real bars. They do a great setup. And then you can walk around the museum and take a look at all the cars and
$60 million automotive collection.
yeah, it's unbelievable. Again, and they have the DeLorean there now. There's a DeLorean in there.
Yeah, I heard about that.
There's a DeLorean. So I was like, could you put the DeLorean close to the stage next to the Batmobile? Because it'd be amazing to have two movies. So we're gonna have the Batmobile next to the stage, the DeLorean.
Do you know
Kit.
about we're turning that DeLorean into a time machine.
Are you?
Yeah, me and my buddy
okay.
Sean, who was on the show with you.
Right, because
Yeah.
the first thing I saw when I saw DeLorean, I looked inside. I'm like, is this the one from the movie? And it's not. It's a real DeLorean.
It's
So
just a regular DeLorean. but
you're
we're
gonna
turning
put the
it
flux
into time machine 'cause
capacitor and
we've
everything.
done- yeah.
Dude, I have to see
This is the one we built in the past.
end result.
That's ours. That's me with ours up at Universal.
That's
There's John
unbelievable.
Cryer in it. Here we are with Robert. That's Sean, who you met on the left. Robert Zemeckis,
Wait a minute.
Bob Gale.
Hold on. Was there a documentary? Because I saw a documentary.
Probably, yeah. But we built the Ghostbusters car as well. And here's our car with the Scream Awards with Michael and Chris.
That's when they came out of it. I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. That was
remember that.
we did that at the Greek Theater.
So
that
where is the
funny?
car now?
This one that we built is in England, but we are going to build another one for the Marconis, and that we made the announcement that night on the show at the museum.
Oh God, I wasn't. I know what.
No, you were prepping to. Come
Oh yeah,
out and
right. Oh, you did it
perform.
before the show. Okay, I got to see that because that is one of the most iconic. That was my, first of all, I'm a Stallone huge fanatic, so Rocky to me is the best. But Back to the Future, it's got to be right behind it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, though, you said 80s, and yeah.
I cannot get enough of
Your
the Back to the
persona
Future.
changes. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
It's
funny.
hilarious. I love it.
Well, I grew up Italian, so like Rocky, Commando, Rambo. This is what we like. Growing up in the '80s. I just grew up by, my parents, my dad's gone. He's like, yeah, watch this. This is good stuff. Just watching Rambo 2 all the time. I'm like 8. I'm like, this is good. This is good parenting over here.
That's hilarious. I was trying to get your Rambo bit downloaded, and I wasn't able to get it into the system.
Oh,
here,
you saw it, right.
But your Stallone bit, I should say.
Right.
Your Stallone
Right.
bit.
Yeah.
Very funny stuff. Is that in the special?
Yeah,
Will they be able to see
Yeah,
it?
it's gonna be in the show. I
good.
kind of do a little.
Can you do a little here without burning it? Just,
I don't care
is it
if
just
I'll
the
do a little
voice?
bit. I just say. So what I usually say is how I remember the first time I went to Italy. I was really blown away because I went to my cousin's house and he was watching a movie, and he was watching Rocky, like one of my favorite movies, and I was blown away by the dubs, by the actors who dubbed them in Italian, because they all sound like regular citizens, like from Italy. They don't even attempt to kind of get the the essence of the character. So when you watch Rocky, as everybody knows, Rocky is not. I mean, even Stallone's voice, it's known. I mean, it's been parodied so many times. So in Rocky, he kind of sounds a little punch drunk and not as smart. So he's kind of like this. He's kind of like a yo agent. What do you think you're doing for the next, I don't know, 30 or 40 or 50 years? I was wondering if you wouldn't mind marrying me very much. If you wouldn't mind marrying me too much. Right? That's how he sounds. You see, it's very dragging, right?
Yeah, he's been hit a couple times.
He's been hit a couple times. Like that. In Italian, in the movie, he sounds educated. And it does not, he sounds like he won a Nobel Prize in economics. So he's like, allora, che sta facendo per le prossime 40-50 anni? Volevo sapere se per caso se mi volevo sposare. Like, it's just, and then Rambo, I do the whole, like, and he's like, so I do the whole thing, a few of his movies.
Is it one actor who dubs
one
Sylvester
actor
Stallone throughout?
Through all his movies.
Yeah.
So, because it's consistency. So I guess once they started, they probably
Good
thought,
gig.
he's not going to talk like this in every movie, but they're like, man, this guy talks this in every movie.
And he does.
And Cliffhanger, he's like, allora che facciamo qua con l'arbero? Non so che facciamo. Later on like that. It's like, it's not, that's why his movies maybe don't do as good. Like, why? He's very smart. Why is Rambo, why does Rambo killing people when he sounds like he has a PhD? Like,
That's hilarious.
Schwarzenegger's hilarious because you know how he sounds, but he sounds like every Yeah, he sounds like your local butcher. It's weird, you know, when you see him in Conan the Barbarian in Italian. It doesn't. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So that's part of.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just silliness.
and 58 more minutes.
And 58 more minutes. That plus 58 more minutes, maybe 42. I'm not sure. No, 58.
I think you're very funny. I'm very happy that you're doing what you're doing. I think the world needs more people like you in it,
Thank you very
especially
much.
in the front of things. So I hope that you push your way to the front of the line.
I hope so. I hope so too. I'm just gonna keep on creating, and hopefully, you know, I'm writing basically my life into a TV series. It's the one man.
So what's coming up for you?
So the one man play that I'm touring is.
October 29th in Kelowna.
And then this weekend, yeah. But so it's called. I'm changing the name of the show. It's called So She Married a Guido.
Okay.
So it's
Like an axe murder. So she married a Guido.
Right, exactly. So when I saw the movie So I Married an Axe Murderer, I said this would be a great title if we just change it to So She Married a Guido or So I Married a Manja Cake, because my wife because in Canada my wife is considered a manja cake. Manja cake is basically what the Italians would call all the non-Italians, all the Canadians.
Oh, I see.
Because what happens was, like, the first Italian immigrants that immigrated to Canada in the early 1900s, they would go to work and they would see their Canadian coworkers eat sandwiches with the soft white Wonder Bread, which didn't exist at the time in Italy. So because of the consistency
deal.
and the color, they thought they were eating cake all day. They thought, because it looks like cake, so they go home like, I don't know, these guys eat cake.
White
So
bread is so sugary.
So manja means eat and cake means cake. So they called Canadians cake eaters, basically. So that's what all Italians call the Canadians in Canada. Like, it was manja cakes. Like, so the show I'm touring is So I Married a Manja Cake, because that term is known in Canada.
But not throughout.
Right, but in the States, it's going to change to So She Married a Guido. So after my tour, we're going to film a few episodes, and I'm bringing the show for Industry Night in Toronto. People are maybe interested in seeing it in Toronto, and I'm just gonna film the content on. I have my website coming up soon called therealguido.com.
Therealguido.com.
Yeah. Somebody took GuidoCocomello.com.
No,
I'm like,
come
who
on.
would take my name? Who would take? So I don't want to negotiate for my name, so I'm gonna go therealguido.com.
I'm with you there.
And I'm gonna put some clips of the Marconi, my one-man show, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more. Just content about my life. I think that's what I like to do, and I have a lot of friends, and even my kids want to be involved, and their friends want to be involved. So
get yourself a sitcom. That's what comedians did in
that's
the
what I
old
like.
days, the 80s and
yeah,
90s.
I want to do. I would like to
sitcom.
do that. I'd like to be the next Ray Romano. That's what I'd like to do.
Amazing you would use that reference, because what was it? Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yeah,
Is that
Everybody
the
Loves
show?
Raymond, yeah.
So I worked on a show called Everybody Hates Chris that was a total rip on and that was very successful.
Very
so your
successful.
thing could be very successful.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. We need a new Italian dad figure. No, that's enough.
That's right. We haven't had anybody good since Joey.
Right. Yeah, right.
Remember, after Friends, there was Joey.
It was just Joey. We haven't had
next fall on
any
NBC.
Right, Joey. Remember that? That lasted not long, but he had a good run. I can't. I'm not gonna make fun of that. Yeah, he's fine.
He's doing just fine.
He's
and
just doing
done
that fine.
wonderful work ever since. Did you watch that show, the English show? The English show he's on. Shit, I can't think of what it's called. I thought it was Extras, but it's not. I was going to say that too. That's Ricky Gervais. It's the other one. But you know what I'm talking about, right? It's on
He has white hair in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
And
didn't know it was
he's
an English
really
show. I
good
didn't
on
know
it.
he was nominated for that for a few awards,
He
but I
was
didn't
really
know.
good on
I thought it was an American show. It's an English show.
Oh,
Interesting.
well, no, it might be an American show, but it takes place in England.
Oh,
doesn't it?
okay.
I think he's an American actor who goes to England, and they all think. Am I wrong about this?
No, I haven't seen it, but I
Oh,
think
shit.
you're right.
Well,
But I know
it's not a new show either. So,
But I know
he was good in that too.
But it's amazing how he did Friends and Joy didn't work because like a spin-off and then something completely different 5-6 years later.
Oh, he did Top Gear too for a
Yeah.
little bit. When they fired all the
Right.
Top Gear guys,
Okay.
he came in and took over Top Gear
Okay.
for a hot
Totally
minute.
forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
that too.
No, he's great. I mean, he's done great
Matt
work.
LeBlanc's doing okay.
Good for him. Yeah.
Whoa. That's the wrong Joey. That's Joey from Blossom.
Lord. Yep.
See, that's where the show I
Blossom.
used to watch.
Whoa.
Blossom, Fresh Prince, and then Blossom. That's what it was. It was the Mondays.
The
Fresh
girl-
Prince
the-
at 8 and Blossom at 8, and then Six, her friend
The
Six had a
best
crush on
friend
Six.
Six lived in our town or in the area, and we would see her at the mall
While she was filming Blossom or after Blossom?
while she was filming Blossom, but obviously not at that time. Wow. But her
Wonder-
family lived in Connecticut, and we would see her at the mall every once in a while. I
Is
can't
that
remember
where
her
you're
name.
from,
It was
Connecticut?
three
Is that where you're
names.
from, Connecticut?
Yeah, but right outside New York City, so we can be friends. And all my friends were Italian. My best friend was Roman Caggiano.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah, we can be
Little
friends.
bit.
That's good. That's
Little
very
bit.
Italian.
Little
That's
bit.
legit Italian.
Okay, so stay tuned for your upcoming sitcom that you're going to figure out yourself, but eventually that's going to.
I'll figure this out. We'll see what happens.
I want to watch that show.
We'll see what happens. Well, I do intend on filming some webisodes, so there'll be like a few minutes here and there. I just want to see what people think of it first, and then maybe we'll do more of it. We never know.
Do you remember a million years ago with Steve Ranazizi when you worked with him? He did that little web show that our friend Kevin Brader directed.
I do.
And it was something with it was a dad and his baby, and it was a husband and wife. Do you know who Steve Ranazizi is? He was the guy on The League. Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Forget it now. No one knows. It doesn't matter. No time to talk about that. It was a good show. It sounds like what you're doing or what you could be doing could turn into something like that, and it could totally work. Like
and nowadays, I mean, this is what
and you do that shit with your phone, and you know what I
He
mean. You don't need
wanted
much.
to do that and couldn't find the hook, and had other things he was avoiding.
Daddy Dearest or something like that. It was
Yeah.
very funny. He's very funny.
He's hilarious, but when anyone is like hiding anything, that's what you're avoiding.
yes, yes.
Do you remember the comedian that got in trouble not trouble, but controversially because they lied and said they were in 9/11, but they weren't in 9/11? Do you know who I'm talking about? Have you heard that story?
That they were in 9/11? You mean like in the
They
building?
were in the building and they escaped the building.
A
That
comedian?
they worked at World Trade Center
No.
during 9/11. No, okay. All right.
Is he
that's
known?
Yeah,
He or she
that's
known?
Who it is. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
It's
know
this
that.
person.
Oh no,
Oh shit! Well, I'm really glad I brought it up.
I did not know.
I thought that would be the hook where you'd be like, "Oh, that guy. Yeah, of course."
Is he from New York? Oh, obviously, because he works now. I mean, no, maybe he's not from there because he just worked there.
No,
that day,
yeah.
but I didn't know. I know I've never heard about it, but also,
He worked in the area, just like he lied and said he worked.
but
in
back
the
then I
building
really,
instead of, like,
I really
across the
wasn't
street or
into it. So maybe this is a story that happened around that time, or did it just come out like 20 years later that he lied about it?
No, I don't even want it to. Oh, look at that. I tried to drink from my Rupert mug. It's empty. I was like, oh, I've drank all that water. No, it doesn't matter. I'm
Let's
I'm
not
trying to
cause
get
trouble.
him here and we can talk about it. But
Oh, it's even better, yeah.
He's very interesting, and now I'm sorry I brought it all up.
We knew what
So
happens.
stupid.
Yeah, but also happens sometimes you just say stuff and people, I mean, listen, man.
Here's what's happened during the show. You have slid yourself right out of frame is what's happened. Slide your chair forward about a foot so it's next to, don't move the other one. You're moving the other one. Leave the other one where it is and put your chair.
Yeah.
Oh, forget it.
I moved so much. I did all this?
This chair was good. If you moved the other chair back where it was, you'd be in the frame here. I don't care. You look great. All right. So, how do people follow you? Guido Cocomello
Yes,
on Instagram.
Instagram or Facebook.
The
but
real
most
Guido
Instagram.
Cocomello is not up yet.
It's not up yet. TheRealGuido.com is not up yet. It'll probably be up in a month or a few weeks. But you can follow me in the meantime on Instagram at Guido Cocomello. 2 L's. COCOMELLO.
And tickets for the Marconi event are at Marconi
At
Museum.
Marconi Museum.
Or marconimuseum.com.
.com, and there's an Eventbrite page, and a percentage of the proceeds will go to a children's charity in Orange County, as they always do. I mean, they work really well with everybody.
Right.
So I mean, that's why they're so amazing as well, because they give back a lot. So
They came here and gave her foundation a check the other day.
I know, I saw it. It was
amazing.
unbelievable.
Absolutely
it was unbelievable.
amazing.
I saw.
And,
It was-
if they were able to do that, it means we raised that much more for their charities, which to me is just amazing. It's
Right.
so amazing.
Right, and it's amazing we could do it while we're having fun, laughing, and we're giving back to like people that need it. It's like we
was
could do this.
unbelievable.
We could do this over and over again on a
All
loop, you
the
know,
time.
like so. Therefore, people could like have fun, and their money goes somewhere good. You know what I'm saying? Like even at the bar when you get a drink, your money goes somewhere good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everything you're doing, you're spending it, but it's also going a bit obviously to the people to maintain the museum, because you have to maintain that beautiful thing. But a lot of it goes to helping out others, and it's like the perfect thing, laughing and helping out others. I don't, it's
Win-win.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's a great. It's really great to be a part of.
You're
the
going to
museum
kill
and
it.
everything.
You're
I
going
hope
to kill
so.
it. The museum part's fun and everything, but your show is going to be great.
Could you guys make it? I know it's on Orange County.
We're
Texas.
triple booked on the same night, and we're trying.
I'm filming it. I'll send you the video.
Well, definitely watch
Yeah,
that.
I'll send
We're trying to make a couple things work.
No worries. No worries.
We committed to it on the night when we was, oh yes, absolutely, and then we forgot we had another thing, and then there's since been another
Like,
thing.
is
and
it
we're
my
like,
brother getting married?
They're like, no, it's no joke. One of these other things is, will you come do the podcast live at our car show event? It's like there's so many different things.
Right.
and I don't want to. Whatever, you know how it is.
I definitely do. I say yes to everything, and then I gotta call people. I'm like, man, you know how
I
stupid I am
hate it.
sometimes. Yeah, I do it
never
all the time.
used to be that person, and
I'm always
nowadays
that.
it's coming up, and I hate it.
I'm a yes guy now. Before I'm like, no.
Same.
I'm just say yes because I want to say yes because you never know what could come out of things anymore. So I say yes to,
Because you're open to good things coming.
yeah, and then I'm like, wow, now you hate me, but I'm trying to be good. Like, I'm trying to be good. I'm
I know.
committed.
I said yes, but all right. October 29th, you're going to be at the Kelowna Hut or whatever it's called.
I
up
forgot
in
what the
Kelowna.
theater is. It's a theater in Kelowna. I'm not sure. Just follow me and I'll show you on Instagram.
Beautiful. So it's a theater. It's not a.
It's a theater. Yeah, it's a theater.
Will not be at the Holiday Inn.
It's a theater. No.
All right, I think that's it. We're back on Thursday, I believe, with Bart Kykins, the author of Flat Six Love Affair and many other books. Incredible photographer, Bart Kykins. I ran into him at Luft-Gekühlt, but we barely spoke at all because we were going to do this. So I think that's what's going on. I love you, Guido Cocomello. We love you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much
So
for having me.
much.
Thank you, Nicole, for having me. Jay, thank you.
Are you good? Do you feel good about this? I know
Yeah.
you were stressed out before and everything. We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. I feel good. I was throwing up before because I'm really nervous in interviews. No,
I meant about the traffic and
yeah,
shit.
I know.
Okay,
Oh,
all
the
right.
I know.
I didn't-
No, the traffic was
You were-
the traffic. I left an hour and 45 minutes, and I was like, yeah, come on. And then first it said you're gonna arrive. It says estimated time arrival 10 minutes before. I was like, good. And all of a sudden you see it going 4:52. You're like, no, 4:55. You're like, come on, 4:56. And then 5:03. It's like, no, I got to make some moves over here. And then you go 5:02, like it's a game. You're stressing out. But that's part of being Italian.
There should be like a video game driving in LA. There should be some sort of getting to your destination kind of a
On
thing.
time, and you leave.
It's like Paperboy when we were kids, that game, but now adults getting to work in LA.
What was Paperboy? I've never played Paperboy.
You had to deliver papers as a kid, but like,
The
the
dog
dog,
and the
oh,
newspaper
guy.
the pothole, all this crazy shit.
It's something.
Puddle of water.
It's something to try to get. And then when the GPS takes you, do you want to take this 2 minutes faster road? You're like, I'm like, how am I here? How is this fast all of a sudden? You're like, I'm in an industrial area, but anyway.
We did it. Instagram, we love you as well. We love everybody at home. Please love one another. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for Tom Snyder is next. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. That was awesome. I love that. Tom Snyder's next. That's old school.